Broke a pedal. No epic 4. No epic 4. Broke the pedal. Can't epic 4. Fuck it. Whatever. Westmalle Trappist Tripel, 9.5% alcohol by volume. So this has been sitting on my shelf for a while. I don't age beers a real long time usually, but this is good until 7/05/16. So we got quite a ways on there. Drink this out of this Cameron's tulip glass I got for Chad, which is fucking killer solid fucking glassware here. Alright, so let's pour this silently. I warmed this up quite a bit, so in my past experience with these pale Belgian triples, don't enjoy them cold at all, so I'm damn sure I warmed this one up quite well. I've had the Westmalle Trappist Double. It's pretty fucking good. A darker beer. Oh, here comes the floaties. All right. It's got us a nice kind of a slight caramel tinge to that. Kind of a sort of a typical looking head there. Looking shiny. Belgian heads typically look a bit shiny. Oh, that aroma is fucking fabulous. Wow. It smells really authentic and rugged. Getting some really cool aromas out of here. Definitely some spice and banana. Very typical. A lot of barley. Almost like a rugged pale ale, like one that's not hop dominated, you know what I mean? A little bit of that in there. Definitely some sweetness. Nice, nice. Let's take a sip. Whoa. Explosive carbonation. Big alcohol in the back. A lot of flavor. Very packed. Somewhat typical of the style, but yet extremely exquisite. You know, it's not outside what you would expect, but it's definitely more down home and rugged. If any beer that I've had that does remind me of this would be the Little Creatures Pale Ale from Australia. It's not at all a Belgian triple. It just has kind of that rugged, raw kind of, I don't know. We'll say earthy, but it's not exactly earthy. Maybe a slight bit of earthiness, right? Oh, wow. Very sweet. Kind of dessert-like, but it's not quite super sweet. It's kind of... Yeah, it does remind me a lot of that Little Creatures beer. Big, typical, heavy Belgian yeast flavors in the back. Wow. Flavors just sticking to the palate. A little bit of those leafy Belgian hops. Very well balanced. Very impressive Belgian triple. This may be the best one I've had so far of these nice pale gold ones. Really enjoying this. I kind of like that down home, rugged home cooking taste in the beer. Obviously, looking quite hazy. Oh. Head dissipates quite a bit, but it kind of still lingers around. I'm having a lot of trouble describing this. Just see if I can come up with any fabulous new interpretive words. I know what I want to say, I just don't know the word for it. Yeah, it's very raw and organic tasting, we'll just say that. It's like, there's the big yeasty flavors you'd expect, the slight spiciness, bit of the banana, mostly the other like ester type dominating flavors of the Belgian triple yeast. A lot of like stickiness to it. It's very sticky. Get out of a lot of Belgian triples. That like most of them they should be. I think like what I've seen from the style, the head does look shiny, makes you get sticky lips, residue in the mouth, a very residue type feeling in the beer. Is kind of like oily and viscous. All those characteristics are just fucking totally showcased here. The head's dissipating, but that's why I use these tulip glass for the Belgian beer. A little bit of degassing generally never hurts a Belgian beer. There, see, it came back. So much locked in carbonation, just totally streaming up here. Definitely a sipping beer, something you want to sit down and examine as it warms up and degasses. No rush here. If you think you want more than this, I definitely recommend buying 2 of these and sessioning Westmalle Tripel. If you got nothing to do that night, you know, I think you'd be okay. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Depends how much you weigh, I guess. I don't know. Kind of an earthy, organic presence to the yeast. I've been cellaring this for a bit. It wasn't in the coldest environment. Maybe that has a little bit to do with it. But it's a very rugged, authentic, old-fashioned tasting triple. And I'm absolutely loving it. It's, I mean, I know it doesn't have a date on the bottle of how long this brewery has been around. I imagine it's been quite some time, and they probably, maybe this is a very authentic, maybe more authentic recipe than even what most their Belgian beers do, because this tastes really rugged. Oh, the aroma just opened up with a whole showcase of spices, and still a fair bit of carbonation in there. As it's degassing, it's actually getting heavier. A lot of the yeasty flavors and the residual kind of residue are really coming through now. Picking up a little bit more of the Belgian hops. It's a heavy alcohol evaporation coming up. It's a nice beer. Other than that, that's about all I have to say on it. A very earthy, fucking kick-ass, rugged-ass beer. The aroma is getting more floral now. Kind of a bit of pollen type, honey type aromas a bit. It keeps going back to that dirty, rugged, raw yeast flavor that's kind of coming out and dominating, but it's like an earthy yeast, maybe, is what I'm actually trying to say. More than maybe, you still get the spicy and the esters and the other flavors associated with all the triples that are pretty much common amongst the style, but you kind of get this earthy, kind of dirt, clay type flavor out of the yeast. And maybe that is coming from the hops, but I kind of think it's yeast, but I could be totally wrong. Feeling it. Feeling the Belgian beer. Definitely these beers give me a slightly different drunk for sure. They kick me a little bit harder, and it's a different. They definitely mess you up. They do with me anyway, but a little more so than American ale yeast. Typically don't hardly mess me up the way this stuff does. At the same ABV for the volume that you're drinking, this stuff's almost twice as powerful to me anyway. So this is going a long time, because this is definitely a savoring beer. You're going to want to drink it a long time, obviously. Beating a dead horse, whatever. Fucking nice bitterness in the back now. Just getting a planty hop. Wow. I don't know, for me it's between 9 3/4 and a 10 out of 11 for sure. I imagine that there could be one a little bit better. I like a little bit more than this one, but this one's definitely at the upper echelon of Belgian triples for me, for what I want. So far, pretty good for what it is, and I do like the earthy, rugged ones. Might be a Spinal Tap. Me as well. But I think I give a solid fucking 10.5, because I think this is an excellent beer. Highly recommend trying it if you're into the Belgian triple style. I don't see how you could go wrong. Beerzerker, and I'm out. Yeah.